Hello everyone. A gimmick can be a great thing. It can be detrimental to the overall failure and or success of any given item, object, or form. And we're going to talk about an example today right now. I'm going to go to low content Star Trek Dummy, my Super Nintendo folder. And I'm thinking of some other things in the past. Like obviously we had Rock Band and Guitar Hero. They were great gimmick fans for a while. Rock Band Blitz, etc, etc. But another one was actually Revolution X. I mean, the arcade version was tremendously amazing, phenomenal. But then they started porting this to every system you can imagine, from Genesis to DOS to, of course, Super Nintendo, and they failed miserably in the home interpretation of this. Just check it out for yourself in a moment here. We're going to load the game up right here. And if you ever played this in the arcade, just like games like Pit Fighter, once you play these on the home ports, they kind of pale in comparison. So I'm going to show you this right now. Seems pretty positive. We got this awesome ragdoll music playing, courtesy of Aerosmith right now. But watch what happens when we get in game. And again, the ideal way, the motive here is to play the arcade version, if and but if we will. Okay, let's get the show on the road here. And you're gonna see for yourself here. Words cannot describe this game. And Revolution X actually has nothing to do with Aerosmith whatsoever. It was meant to be a series of games starring other musical acts, start one out with Aerosmith. And if this would have succeeded, it would have actually parlayed into stuff like Public Enemy. And look, it starts out like Terminator here. And by the way, they're pretty similar games here. Los Angeles. Okay? Okay, it feels like we're in the rave at the beginning of like the Blade movie here. It's like a drum beat that's trying to start but doesn't get going. Ooska, ooska, ooska. We got some guitar distortion here. Okay, that's kind of cool. But yeah, playing like Pit Fighter and these type of games where they have these digital type characters and they try to be as realistic to true life as possible. And this gets really interesting when you play stuff like Street Fighter the movie, and even farther on, Guardians of the Hood, another great game. Love that game too. But yes, this is nowhere near as good as the arcade version. So let's say, for instance, I really want to move on to the arcade version. I'm going to do that right now. Retro Access, low content Star Trek Dummy. Gonna go to the main folder here. We're going to load up the Revolution X here. And one thing that is problematic with a lot of arcade games that you might not realize is that this is something that the actual people who own the arcade games have to do. Typically when they plug it in and get everything initialized and such. But we're going to load up Revolution X here. And we're going to simply load it with the MAME 2003 Plus to start with here. And this is just me, like I'd like to play the arcade version and see how much better this is than the home port Super Nintendo version, which is kind of redundant and like pouring water and alcohol and just blanding it up. But let's check this out here. It's just the limitations of hardware. Maybe they're trying to rush out for Christmas. We're doing the RAM, BIOS, etc. All that good check there. Well, no BIOS really needed for this, but the CMOS is invalid. Errors detected. Any button to continue. Okay. Unable to read gun calibration values. Oh, great. I gotta calibrate the gun. Jeez. Okay, so I'm gonna guess here. Oh, great. Where do I go? And say I accidentally pushed the button at the wrong place. Great, it's saved that way. It's saved again. Now I gotta do this for 3 players because they're 3-player mode activate. And the thing is, I did kind of a duct tape fix where I have this all pre-calibrated for MAME 2003 Extreme. So in that event there, we can actually load the game. But yeah, you can't play the game until you have it properly calibrated. Calibrated, not calibrated. Dummy. And we're gonna go to the same thing again, MAME. And I'm going to show you the duct tape fix I have implemented. I'm going to show you more hard evidence to that when I go over to the computer in a minute here. But we're going to load up Revolution X again. And we're going to load this with MAME 2003 Extreme. Because what happens is when these games initialize, they do a little bit of infram, which is non-volatile random access memory. And you'll see what I mean in a moment here. I'll give you a little bit of a clarification of this. It'll basically have all the settings retained that we need to play the game. Even games like Narc, until you actually have this infram, the game's not going to be playable, but once it loads, you can restart it, like going to quick menu, restart, and that'll actually be all you need to do past the introduction on Narc. But I'll resume here, and we're going past the ROM sequence check right here. And it's validating all the ROMs within the context of the archive. Okay, we didn't get a CMOS error, so the game seems to be intact there. Yes, I actually have all this game properly calibrated for 3-player mode activate. And we're going to try this out for a moment here. And like many Midway games, these have one common problem. the sound is quite low in games like Mortal Kombat 1, 2, Rampage, etc. Here you can barely hear the music at all. I mean, you're better off playing the PlayStation 1 version, but the PlayStation 1 version is like 700 megabytes in size. It is massive. But you can see the graphics are quite a deal better than, of course, the the Super Nintendo, Genesis, DOS ports and such. This is not quite playable here. And of course we have Terminator 2, another great game. And that's another one I'm going to do real quick. Okay, we're going to go to MAME. And this is another work in progress here. Terminator 2 should be right here. We're going to load that again with MAME 2003 Plus. And let's see what happens when we try loading this game. Like I said, there are like a couple hundred plus games that have these type of in-frame sequences that really contribute to the effectiveness of being able to play the game. You might also notice that this has an incredibly cool authentic to arcade overlay here, which is implemented into MAME 2003 stream as well as Plus.
No way, Jose.
Unable to read gun calibration values. Oh great, what am I going to do now? Try to calibrate? Oh jeez, I screwed up again. I can't play it. What the hell? Okay, what I'm going to actually do is exit RetroArch completely, and I'm going to go to my PC. Because there's this little concept that's really ingenious. It's called bootstrapping. Think of like if you're trying to transport furniture on your vehicle, and you don't have it strapped down. What happens? It falls off, and every time you start up the vehicle again, you have to put the couch or furniture right back on your vehicle, and it just pretty much keeps falling off over and over again. But if you put a strap on there, you can keep it in place the way it should be. And that's what we're doing here. So we're going over to the PC here. And I have my flash drive on there. And I'll show you the duct tape fix I have here. We're going to go into the drive here. RetroArch Saves folder. And then we're going to go into the MAME 2003 Stream folder. And right here, in-frame. These are the series of initializations of in-frames that are here, such as the settings and such. I have all the calibrations for Terminator 2 and Revolution X right here for MAME 2003 Stream. Now here's what's really interesting here. Normally, if you have a bootstrap, you can have these actually auto-generate on boot of the game. So if I go to MAME 2003 Plus right now, and I go to the in-frame, I have Revolution X and Terminator 2. These are ones that I failed on calibrating properly. I'm going to delete these entirely. I'm just going to delete these. Because we have bootstraps in place here and going into here. This is an example of an earlier bootstrap where I was trying to get Run and Gun, the great Konami arcade game, which is a little bit like NCAA basketball on Super Nintendo. But right here, going through here, the infrastructure and all that, it basically has all of the things in sequence here. To basically generate what is needed to get this past the EEPROM error and generate this in-frame, which I showed you on my save directory. So it auto-generates it the way it should be, and it accesses it, and we're able to use it through the context of the game. So going back here, we have no in-frames right now. We're going to shut the system down real quick and boot back up, but I'm going to have these for Terminator 2 and Revolution X, courtesy of the great help, determination, and perseverance of Mahoney T944. Great job. He spent a few days on trying to get this together, and he did a tremendous job. So I'm going to take the flash drive and put it back on the system real quick. Boot back up. And I really need to do some like Aerosmith drum in here. Maybe something like Wanna Take should be a great song to drum and karaoke to. Again, we have no in-frames right here. So it's ingenious that it actually keeps them in a nice safe place, auto-generates them directly from the core itself upon boot of the game. So we're going into RetroArch right here, and we're going to do the Turbo Boost mode activate real quick. Turbo Boost mode activate, again that helps overcommit memory because we have less memory to work with on these mini classics. Only 256 megabytes on the Mega Drive, SNES, and NES classics, and 1 gigabyte, relatively speaking, so of the PlayStation Classic. So we're going to go low content Star Trek 3 dummy, MAME. And you ready? Put your headphones on for this, guys and gals. If this works out the way it should, you're going to be blown away here. We should have it auto-generate on boot of the game here. I mean, cross your fingers. This is going to be my true first test of this. I really hope it works out. But, again, thank you, Mahoney T944. I mean, awesome job, dude. So we're going to go into Revolution X there. Load archive. And I'm going to have this coded into MAME 2003 stream as well. But here we go. MAME 2003 plus work in progress. We're going to load this, and it should auto-generate right here. Let's see if we get our CMOS error. And since I work with computers, CMOS errors are not fun to deal with, especially if you have a virus affect them. That's pretty crappy. But let's check this out here. We can actually bypass this check completely. And every time I see the U, I keep thinking of the Ultra 64 emulator, which runs Killer Instinct. Okay, we actually had a generator here. And remember, we had very, very, very low volume here. Midway presents. And by the way, Midway's actually owned by, of course, Warner Brothers now. Revolution X featuring Aerosmith. What? We can actually hear the music now. It still feels like we're in Los Angeles for Terminator here. Oh, this sounds way, way better now. You know what? Since we have more extreme sound mode activated here, I mean, we're going to have to up the ante here. We're going to go into retro settings here. We have to do this here. We're going to go into retro settings, input. It's going to start sounding like an infomercial here in a moment, but hotkey binds. I meant hotkey binds for the user player 2 here. And notice this is my second controller. I have multiple controllers plugged in. I'm going to change it to my PlayStation Classic controller, and I'm going to do it the same for the player 3. So guess what? Now I have all 3 controllers on one. I have triple firepower mode activated. This is awesome. Bam! Look at that. Triple firepower for the win. Now I'm going to just absolutely decimate this game. We'll get a couple stages in, but yeah, this music is phenomenal. And I have a co-worker that is a big, big fan of Steven Tyler and Aerosmith as a whole. And I picked him up a couple autobiography and semi-autobiography books from Amazon. And let's not shoot the cat here. Shoot the garbage can. But there's some interesting stories, like the time that Steven Tyler was high as a kite, and he tried to seduce a Joan Jett, and she just turned him down completely. I also like seeing Steven Tyler in like the show 2.5 Men, where you hear him doing his vocals in the background. That was a hilarious episode. But we got triple firepower mode activated here. And yeah, it's like many bands, like even Bob Dylan. Aerosmith is another band that has 3 phases. They've had their downspouts as well as their upspouts, and I was got a personal kick. I thought it was kind of ironic to see his daughter, Liv Tyler, in the movie Armageddon, making out with Ben Affleck while I don't want to miss a thing baby's playing in the background. Who thought of that? I mean, for real, that's such a weird, and it's almost like awkward in nature. I want to see what that guy who's doing this, like, oh, industry in the background talking. Just like when I was playing the golf game, the Golden Tee in the last video, where they had like the Mortal Kombat announcer basically saying par or bogey and such. Hilarious. But again, thank you, my Mahoney T944. I mean, this is so fun to play here. And we're going to hear a little bit more of this game here. And again, this is not completely finalized. A few things might change before the end of this release. But I should have this out for MAME 2003 stream, etc. Probably within the next week or two, because I'm still finishing up like Amiga and such. Trying to do a little bit more work with like CD32, some Genesis plus GX work, etc., etc. So I'm trying to get the performance and speed intact for, of course, the mini classics, since it really doesn't hold a candle to PC. And look, we can do a CD here. I wish we could do something like with PlayStation 1, where we take Ridge Race out upon loading of the 4 megabyte game and put it in our own real music CDs like Aerosmith. Really damn cool, and 3-player mode activation is just phenomenal here. Loving the soundtrack here. Oh yeah. It would actually be kind of cool, like if they would have done a Public Enemy version of this, and other things. Like what other bands would have been cool for the Revolution X series? I mean, obviously Rage Against the Machine would have been mind blowing. I would absolutely love that. Killing in the name of, all that fun stuff. Okay. We hear. I wonder if they actually got Steven Tyler to do the voice sample of the first game, or if they kind of had somebody do a great impersonation of him. But again, I'm going to have to do a drumming video. I mean, after I post this, I'm going to do a drumming video with some of Steven Tyler music, as well as like Aerosmith. And what is your personal favorite Aerosmith song? One thing that always kind of irritated me was the fact, look, right there, we're seeing the girls from behind. You might notice that in all the home ports, they actually have the female's face in the camera. But in any case, I'd have to say my favorite Aerosmith song would probably be something like Dream On. And it kind of disappoints me when I got like the Aerosmith Big Ones Greatest Hits. It didn't include Dream On it. So I kind of get perturbed on it. But later on, they kind of did this kind of like rehash Greatest Hits CDs, like where they had like the Best of Police, and then the Bestest Thing, and then they combine them onto one massive 90-minute CD. I love when they don't miss the good songs. Same with like Fleetwood Mac, like have some of like Stevie Nicks solo songs, etc. You can hear them playing some music in the background. Oh yeah, that is so damn cool. And there are actually other games that, how many games do you know that actually have bands playing in the background? There's one fighting game that I played recently for MAME 2003 stream that had a band playing in the background. It was kind of funny. I'm trying to think of a band it was similar to. And every time I hear this song, I mean, I know it's Eat the Rich, but for me it's like misheard lyrics. To me it sounds like Dave Koresh. Who the hell is Dave Koresh? But it's really Eat the Rich. We're going to go a little bit more into this game here, maybe do a little bit of T2. And again, this is definitely, I can't shoot them obviously. I would love to see them do another thing like this with Journey, that'd be so awesome. But this is going to be absolutely amazing for the update. I mean, you're going to absolutely enjoy this. Get this on your sound system without a doubt.
Stop this nonsense now, if you don't want to deal with me.
Who the hell was that? Okay. Okay. We should be nearing the end of the stage here, and then we're going to do one of the things that actually nets this game great reviews for the arcade, the Choose Your Own Adventure Mega Man style multiplicity here. Okay, and we're going to get a little bit of fourth wall type thing going on here once I get past this room. And where all these guys come from? This is crazy. You know, it'd be absolutely amazing if they did something like this where, like they did with Heart of Darkness for PlayStation 1 where they had them 3D glasses to see the magenta glasses that came with it. Imagine if they did a rehash of this game. I mean, Warner Brothers re-released it on like PS4, Nintendo Switch, or Xbox One, but they had it in 3D. That'd be so damn amazing. I mean, for the VR and such.
If you're watching this, then they've taken over.
Okay.
It's up to you now. Find our car and stop the New Order.
The New Order. New World Order Ministry, right?
Music is the weapon.
I used to find a lot of bands from like Headbangers Ball way back, and then I'd go see them at like the Cleveland Agora. Fun stuff. Okay, we should be ending the part here. And again, 3-player mode actually definitely makes this game a hell of a lot easier. And more. Oh, that's awesome. Sweet emotion. I'll never sing on par with you, Tom. He's an incredible singer. Okay, let's get past there. And this is like the end of like the stages in Ark, etc. But yes, this is an offer requested game. I mean, this is so tremendously fixed up. But as far as like other games like Killer Instinct, don't expect miracles with Killer Instinct. It's gonna take a lot of work to ever get Killer Instinct possibly running on these mini classics. And aside from like running the Super Nintendo or Nintendo 64 version. Okay, we have the helicopter here. We don't want to shoot the helicopter because we're going in and out. Get a few power-ups. And I can actually use the circle button on my controller to throw music CDs at people. And one of the complaints about the game is that some of the boss battles are very, very extended. I didn't mean to do that. That's me accidentally bumping a retro shortcut. But yes, some of the boss battles can actually be pretty extended. Imagine having a boss battle like this at Top Gun for Nintendo, which is already hard enough. But this music's fantastic. I mean, I kind of wish like a prototype of the Public Enemy version existed. But this game right here got roughly like 87% plus by most review sites. Should we say magazines at the time, since there weren't really sites when this game came out yet. Quite yet. But all the home versions got like roughly 47%. They were considered abysmal and very, very pale imitation. Even in the case of like other digital graphic games, such as Pit Fighter, the Super Nintendo version of that was pretty pitiful as well. And the Genesis version was actually way, way better. I used to have friends come over, we played stuff like Joe Montana Sports Talk Football, Pit Fighter, and of course like Immortal, which is way, way, way better on Mega Drive than it was on, of course, Nintendo. Nintendo cut out all the violence and such. This is awesome. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like Project Owl and Horn, or Horn Owl for on PlayStation 1 as well. I love these Unreal shmup games. Okay. And we should, after we get past this little part here, we're starting to look like a little bit of a Pink Floyd, the wall thing here with all these automatons rolling here. I remember there being some like Power Rangers as enemies in this game as well, inexplicably speaking so. Pretty funny stuff. I should be able to get to them soon here if I remember correctly. Los Angeles news. And one thing I always thought was interesting, how come DC always uses like fake cities like Metropolis, Gotham, etc. Wherein all of the cities and like Marvel all true to life for the most part, such as New York and such. That was always kind of weird. Of course, we always have like where Thor hails from, and we're gonna do a little bit of trivia here. Where is Thor from again? See if you guys know where Thor is from. I'm gonna use my CDs here and try to take this boss out a little bit quicker. We got the flashing thing here, which kind of signifies when I should be hitting here. I'm gonna end up having to use another continue. And these are the type of games that you're probably never gonna beat in one corner unless you're an absolute masterful at these type of games. Like even Simpsons Arcade. I'd say try that for a challenge right now. See how far you can get Simpsons Arcade before you have to actually insert another coin. It's kind of fun trying to see how far you can really get. Even like trying to do like an arcade game like Street Fighter 2, you're pretty lucky to get to like Guile before you get taken down, or Ken. I mean, you might get like 1 or 2 matches, and then you're gonna get your butt whooped. Okay, we should be nearing the end of this boss here, then we'll get a little sequence for the next stage, which is obviously gonna be our choose your own adventure to go places like the Amazon and such. And there's some incredible music throughout the context of all these stages. And I love the fact that you play this game over and over again, and essentially see like quite a few different branching paths, and potentially different endings too. It's like the, it's like Airwolf gone insane here. And Airwolf is a pretty fun MAME game as well, but the funny thing is, there's a loop-de-loop button on Airwolf. If you do the loop-de-loop button, you're absolutely invulnerable. Okay, one thing I do like is every time you continue, you can use your CDs again. There we go, we should be done with the boss there. Yes, you can see the boss battle is definitely taking a little bit of time here. Okay, this should be almost done. Get the flashing things here. And I was actually kind of tired when I was testing some of the earlier code editions on this yesterday, and I fell asleep amidst the boss battle. It must take like 3 or 4 minutes easy to do this boss battle. Either that or I really suck at hitting the targets here. There we go, hit the flashy majigs here. Kind of like when you're playing like Captain Power on VHS and you have to hit the flashing thing majigs on the TV. If you ever do like Duck Hunt in slow motion, the TV screen actually flashes black with one little white thing on the screen, which signifies basically where the duck is going to be shot from. Okay, this is almost done. Let's take him out with a few CDs there. Okay, we're going to do the choose your own adventure and see the next stage here, now that this boss is almost done. Oh, come on, just go down already. Come on, Steven Tyler, you can do better than this. Who am I actually controlling in this game? Does it say who I'm controlling? Okay. So I need like the flash to do fast turbo boost mode activate. Turn myself in? No. Hasta la vista. I need to play some Terminator 2 for the tail end of this video. Okay. What I should do is like the cheat code to give me infinity CDs. Okay, you have to be going down now. Really? It's like 10 different forms out here. It's like in Pineapple Express when they get in a fight and the guy keeps getting hurt and he's like, I'm okay, over and over again.
Don't give up!
Don't give up! No, I need to keep putting my quarters in, right? You want to take $5 of my quarters just to be one boss in this game? Now, if we had true 3-player mode activate, we'd all have our ducks lined up in a row. We'd all hit the certain things here. Okay, I gotta hit the thing. Why can't I just hit the propeller blades here? I kind of saw this interesting thing in a video the other day, where if you actually record at the right frame rate, and it's the same frame rate as like a helicopter blade, it'll look like the helicopter blade is not even moving at all. I don't know if you've ever seen a video like that, but it's pretty damn cool. Okay, go down, dude. I know I beat this faster than this yesterday. It's like 99.5% of the game is this boss battle. Okay, I think we're done now. Kind of reminds me of like the end of another Midway game, like Total Carnage bosses, and of course like Smash TV. Okay, we made it. Oh, what is this? This looks like the race car from my home screen on the retro thing here. Got some more sweet emotion going on here. Aerosmith's car, cool. Worse against the mothers against drunk driving, or of course the winners don't use drugs here. And I know I'm going to do better on the boss battle mode actually next time I play this. I should have hit the targets a little bit more effectively, but it is what it is. It was still enjoyable. No wings earned. How do you earn the wings in this game? I need to look that up. Okay, we should be able to choose our stage now.
But you made it. Where you go from here is up to you.
Okay, we can go to the Amazon jungle. It looks like the guy from Pro Wrestling for Nintendo there. We can go to Pacific Rim. Great Guillermo del Toro produced movie. Middle East. We'll try the Amazon jungle. It looks like the guy from... It looks like the guy from Pro Wrestling for Nintendo, the one who does the white noise. Joe Perry for the win. Okay. I really wish they did like a redux of the, of course, Journey game. This looks more like we're going into Jurassic Park here. I'm expecting a T-Rex here. But yes, we can go to like these 3 different places. I mean, we can go. This is crazy. I played a Pacific Rim last time I tested this, so we're gonna kind of see what's here. Matumba. Looks like something I would see as an enemy in Beautiful Joe. They look kind of very, very 2D-ish. This is quite a contrast to the digitized people that you see in the game. These look like clear 2D impersonation characters here. Playing pretty damn awesome here. And I believe, if I remember correctly, there's supposed to be like a love and an elevator portion to this.
You got protection.
Protection for what? There's gonna be some Amazon goddess here? What? Guess this game was a little bit more risque than I thought. But in any case, we're gonna go to some T2 here with the Plus update as well. Enjoying that wholeheartedly. I mean, even though it took me a little while to get the boss done. I'll go to MAME here. We're gonna go to Terminator 2 with the Plus update as well. Again, we have no inframus. It should generate here. Yet another game that has pretty inferior home ports. Terminator 2 for the win here. I'm gonna load this up. Same core, work in progress, MAME 2003 Plus. And I'm gonna try to get these all implemented hard code wise into MAME 2003 stream as well. Okay, and it should, there we go. No C-ROM error there.
Excellent.
Start. And we can do 2-player mode activated here as well if we want to. Input, hotkey binds for player 2. And we'll do PlayStation Classic controller. There we go. Okay, we're in Los Angeles just like a decade and near a half later. And love this authentic arcade overlay here. You know what, guys and gals, I have another idea. How about I try to implement an arcade overlay border like this, but for Revolution X? What do you think? Would that be kind of cool? Loading stuff from MAME 2003 Plus and or Stream and having this nice authentic arcade overlay. Let's not hit the humans here. Oops, I'm feeling I should be hitting the humans here. Let's get some weapons here. Gotta make sure you don't hit the human casualties here. I'll tell you a little bit of an interesting story. Back in the day, I loved Terminator 2 so much, and I actually had 2 VHS records together because the movie wasn't quite out yet, and I just wanted to be able to watch it again and again. And I've run it like a half dozen times, so I decided like until I was able to actually get a home release of it, I would dub a copy of it. And I let my friend do it for me and on his VHS player. And then he gave me it on 2 tapes because he did it on short play. And the movie is like 2 hours plus, and short play is only 2 hours or such. And so it actually went on to 2 tapes. And it was kind of annoying watching the movie and having to do like the last 22 minutes or so on a second VHS tape. But yes, I have it on Blu-ray now, and it's a fantastical movie. And I always like when they like kind of do like the canon and wipe things out. Like if you're talking like Terminator 1 and 2, Terminator 3 is not even considered true canon now. Just like the Halloween movies, you have the new Halloween movie that came out last year. The newer movie is considered part of the original series, whereas the one that's part 2, where he's in the hospital for part 2, is not considered canon anymore. So kind of when they make a bad sequel, they kind of get rid of the canon duplicity of it. But this is playing pretty damn awesome, and this used to be really, really fun here. And Gentleman actually told me something interesting that I didn't realize for Terminator 2 and Revolution X. These are not true light gun games. These are actually highly stylized joystick games. They're not true light gun games like Duck Hunt or such. These are really just very, very fancy, well-refined joystick mechanism games. But again, I really, really thoroughly hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll maybe do this for a few more seconds here. And I'm really, really wholeheartedly enjoying this. And again, even though the latest Terminator movie did not get the best reviews, I mean, go to IMDb. I mean, I usually would go to Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. I look at like the critic reviews as well as the user-end reviews, and kind of do a little bit of a mashup between those. And I mean, usually like a movie like Shawshank Redemption would have good end-user reviews as well as good critic reviews. But then you have a movie like even John Wick has good user-end reviews as well as Rotten Tomato reviews. But there are movies like that actually have bad reviews for the critics, but people like me and you would love them, like Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and Dumber does not really have good critic reviews. It's considered low-base humor, toilet humor and such, but I've seen that movie so many damn times. I had like 20 movie passes, and I had to probably see that movie with like a good half dozen of my friends when it was actually out in theaters. And lo and behold, I actually watched Dumb and Dumber 2, as well as the Dumb and Dumber, and that is what it is. Nothing competes with the original one. And I thought it was a great mashup there to have Jeff Daniels, a serious actor up to that point, who hasn't really done anything silly, and Jim Carrey picked him as a perfect contrast to his humor itself. And that was pretty damn awesome. But in any case, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm going to have to go back and watch some more of this era, Color Chronicles, which is a fantastic show. Love that show. But Revolution X and Terminator 2 Arcade, NFRAM, auto initialization sequence, mode 8 to 8, and these are going to auto-generate with Bootstrap on load up the game in the update. Again, thank you, Mahoney T944. You rock.